Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to another estrogen filled month. Yeah, this time I'm reviewing a 2002 TV miniseries starring Bridget Fonda in her final role and Chelsea, a Canadian cast mostly of a mix of Canadian and British and American actors called Snow Queen. Yes, aka the movie that inspired Frozen, Disney to do Frozen. They loosely based it on the Snow Queen, except this Snow Queen is not a singing, beautiful, angelic female with with a heart of gold. No, this one is a killer. This one is a more darker version of Frozen, but without all the singing. There's no singing in this movie. Yeah, the film has Chelsea Hobbs. She plays the story's heroine, Gerda, who is very adorable, very likable. And I'm gonna say this right now. I know you're gonna attack me in the comments. I don't care. It's been 6 years. She's a better lead than the hobo in The Force Awakens because I liked her journey from the fact that she's this young girl with like Amish clothes or whatever, kind of like a Disney princess, and this guy's pursuing her, and then when the guy gets abducted by the Snow Queen later in the film, she has to go save him. Again, that's a better freaking story arc than the hobo who can do everything and is perfect and in every way. She can do everything well and there's no explanation. This girl has explanation, but I'll get to that. The film aired on the Hallmark. Josh, before you shoot me down, this is not a lovey-dovey movie the way you think. This is not the film that you were expecting because it's more like Stephen King's It when it comes to the running time. Hallmark movies are normally 80 to 90 minutes long and they're lovey-dovey and very predictable. This had some things that I didn't see coming. It's been released fully on DVD. It came out on DVD in the UK November 9th of 2009 and Australia in 2011. And it was the last role for Bridget Fonda, which is fine because she went out with a bang. The film is beautiful to look at. It's filmed in the mountains of the Canadian Rockies. It's gorgeous. The cinematography is amazing. The plot's simple. It's based on the Hans Christian Andersen story of the Snow Queen, but there's some changes because in this version, Gerda and Kai, the male and the female leads, they're actually romantic in this story. In the original story, they're just best friends. A male and a female best friends. Also, they had to modernize the movie because in 2002 they couldn't do like a period piece where it's very slow. No, this movie is long, but unlike Wonder Woman 84, it doesn't drag. There's a scene in the third act that could have been cut, but I'll get to that when I get to my cons. Gerda and Kai's adventures are dreamlike and surreal. Yeah, I get it in the book, but it's basically like in four parts. You have Gerda and Kai when they meet, and he's falling in love with her, and they ice skate together, which is very sweet, and their romance works. It works better than Anakin and Padme in the prequels, only because it's better written. And I love Anakin and Padme, as characters individually in episodes, 1, 2, and 3, when he's a kid and then she's a queen and they get older. But yeah, it's very cute. The soundtrack. There's three things I would cut out of this movie: the soundtrack, not the score. The score is beautiful. The soundtrack. They sing this song again and again every time something dramatic happens, and I'm like, we get it already. The movie is trying to say something. And then there's also the third act, like the freaking. There's these other seasonal witches or princesses that are in the story. That the first one is spring, the second one is summer, and then the third one is this god awful over the top wannabe Karen Gillian that overacts and yells and just is terrible. She's drunk throughout most of it. The autumn princess, yeah, she's awful, awful, awful in the movie. But the rest of it is really well done. The Snow Queen herself is very intimidating. Bridget Fonda doesn't scream like freaking Emily Blunt does in Winter's War. Her outfits are beautiful. She has Elsa's white hair, so that's what Frozen took from this. She doesn't sing. She just like controls people with her mind. She even hits an icicle in Kai's eye, and he becomes a different person. But that's only for like a third of the film. It's not like a major plot point. But yeah, the rest of the movie though, like I said, it's a beautiful score. Your lead is amazing. She's so talented, so beautiful. She was very young in 2002 because Chelsea Hobbs is my age. She's going to be 36 in a couple of months. And here she was like a teenage girl. She was like 16 or 17, but she's adorable. And like I said, she is a strong woman in the second half, and she proves it. She has to go after a man, and then some. This girl that's like a pirate, tries to like, you should have been with us. We could have done something with you, and she sucker punches her right in the face. And I'm like, again, where was that in the rehash trilogy? Nowhere, because they were too busy preaching about feminism. You don't have to do that. A female character can speak for herself. There's also a scene where there's a reindeer like Sven in Frozen, and she lets her free. She lets it free, and he kicks the girl right in the face. The other girl, the pirate. Also, there's a polar bear that can talk. It's not CG. It's a really good practical effect. I think it's the Jim Henson Creature Shop or whatever. They did a good job with the animatronics on the bear. It does some weird stuff besides attack. I mean, it talks and it grabs somebody by the leg, which bears can't do. But it's a fantasy world, guy. This movie's not real. The scene in the mirror is good. Also, there's a scene about hell in the backstory of the Snow Queen that was not needed. You could have cut that completely out. This is not a supernatural movie. It's a fantasy. Let it be a fantasy. Don't involve supernatural business that has nothing to do with it. This isn't the Curse of La Llorona or the Conjuring or Spawn. It's something different. Jeremy Gilbout, he plays Kai in the movie. Robert Wisden plays Wolfgang. He's like some German guy, like the father of he's the freaking manager of the hotel that they're working at, and he's okay. He has a good moment at the end when he hugs them at the end. Uh, there's some Asians in the movie, so be warned. And the movie's basically 3 hours, but it's in two parts. An hour and 28 minutes of the first half, and then the second half is another hour and 28 minutes. So combined, it's almost 3 hours, but I didn't feel it mainly because you did it in two parts. And it's a beautiful looking movie, and it's got a great score, and it's got a wonderful lead girl that actually she propels the material because if she was boring like Keira Knightley in the Pirates movies, I would have been like, oh no, this is not going to work for me. But she's really good. And also you had other townsfolk in the movie that you could cut out because they're just there to fill time. But like I said, the worst characters are those freaking Autumn, Robber, and the freaking and her assistant. They're the worst characters in the movie. They're over the top, and it doesn't fit because it's not a cartoon. And they're drinking, and they're just. And she has an eye patch, even though she's not injured, so it's stupid. And yeah, you didn't need that. You could have cut that out. And there's also this lady with an Irish or Scottish accent that's in the movie. She's okay, but I would have done better than that. But like I said, if you've never seen this movie, they have it on Tubi TV. If you have a smart TV or smart cast, you can watch it there or online. It's really well done. I can see why Frozen, took a lot from it, but not the singing, is not here. It's not a musical. It's a fantasy, dramatic, romantic movie where the romance works really well. And don't be Josh. Don't say I'll never watch it because it's a Hallmark movie. Trust me, this does not feel like a Hallmark movie. It felt a lot more epic in a scale. It was like Lord of the Rings, not with the budget or whatever, but in the scale of the movie, like her journey she has to walk because she can't fly. She, it's basically she's like a female Frodo looking for something. Here, she's looking for a man. In that movie, it was the ring, and he has to throw it into a pit. But it's a lot shorter though. I'll say this: this movie's not 4 hours like Return of the King is. That's an amazing movie, but it's way too freaking long. This movie was really well done, and the way she beats the Snow Queen, I'm glad they didn't put the gay stuff in it because back in 2002 they didn't do that in these movies. Now they would either make Chelsea Hobbs' character bisexual or queer or something. It's not needed. You don't need that in a freaking movie. Don't preach. Just entertain me. And this did entertain me. It's a really soft movie, with a lot of heart, a lot of good acting, the beautiful visuals. For a TV movie, I didn't feel like I was watching something cheap. It's really well done. And like I said, Josh, don't shoot this down just because it's a musical. I mean, because it's a fantasy adventure film. And there's no curse words or a lot of blood. There is blood in it, but not too much. Like it doesn't go over the top like a 300 movie. And like I said, it'll warm your heart if you are looking for something that's not a god awful Disney remake. This is definitely the movie for you. Here's the poster of it. That's Bridget Fonda. She never looked better, and this is a great performance for her final performance. She put her all into it, and it really shows. And it's a movie that's charming. So even if it's not for you, give it a one watch. It'll be worth your time. Other than more than any Disney remake with a princess movie like Cinderella or freaking Mulan or Beauty and the Beast, it's not a rehash. It does its own thing, even for a 3 hour running time. I never felt it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.